And I also encourage all the devotees to use the chat window to post your questions and doubts regarding Bhagavad Gita so that Timir Prabhu can coordinate your questions at the end of the lecture. And Guruji will make sure to answer all your questions at the end of the lecture. And now, Guruji will start with today's Bhagavad Gita class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम हरे कृष्ण. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we have successfully finished 10 shlokas in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So being Saturday evening here in USA and Sunday morning in India, we are now in the 5th chapter. We are going to study 4 shlokas today. So 5th chapter is Krishna Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. So basically starting from the 3rd chapter onwards, 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter, everything is about Karma Yoga only. Mainly because Arjuna is asking a lot of good questions, starting from the 3rd chapter, 1st sloka, 1st and 2nd sloka. And then also Arjuna asked another question in the 3rd chapter also, in the sloka number 36. And then he asked also the question in the 4th chapter to Krishna about how he gave this knowledge in the beginning to sun god Vivaswan. And then in the 5th chapter beginning also is Arjuna is asking a nice question, very nice, like Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punar yogam cha samsasi yachreyetayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. So sanyasam karmanam means giving up the activities. That's what sanyasam karmanam, which is same as akarma. So in the 4th chapter when Krishna said that karmanohi api bodhavyam cha vikarmanaga akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. So akarma means not doing any action. That's what is akarma. That is known as sanyasam karmanam. Sanyasam karmanam means not doing any actions. That means giving up the activities. So that is also known as akarma. Karma means performing our activities, and doing that, not getting affected by the results, is known as karma yoga. But if we are affected by the results, if we are after the results, that means we are called karmi. So karmi is a person who is going after the results. So whereas Krishna is asking us to perform karma yoga, so not getting affected by the results. So that way, sanyasam karmanam Krishna punar yogam cha samsasi. So yogam, simply karma yoga is simply known as yogam. So yoga means not getting affected by the results, being equal. So that equanimity is called yoga. Samatvam, yoga uchyate. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So that means being equal in both success and failure. So that is known as yoga. So that's why many times when Krishna says that yoga means performing the karma, performing our duties. So that's why in the 4th chapter also Krishna says that imam vivasvate yogam. So I gave this knowledge, this yogam, I gave to sun god Vivaswan. So like that, this yogam is Bhagavad Gita. Even in the 3rd chapter, the 3rd sloka also, when Krishna explained, Lokesmin Vivida Nista Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. So Karma Yogena Yoginam. So a person who is performing, who is following this Karma Yoga, he is known as a yogi. So that's what Karma Yogena Yoginam. Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. A person who is simply just getting the knowledge, so that is called Jnana Yoga. So, but we have to use that knowledge. We have to apply that knowledge. We have to act. We cannot simply sit idle. So that point is very, very clear for us in Bhagavad Gita. At least to maintain our body, one has to act. So that's what we understand. So without acting, we cannot even maintain our body. At least even to eat our food, we have to move our hands. So we need to take the food from the plate and we need to keep in our mouth, and then we need to chew. All such things we need to do that. So all these things are all activities. So to maintain our body, one has to at least act. So that's why karma yoga one cannot give up completely. So our activities one cannot give up completely. But when Arjuna asked the question, you tell me one out of this. Tell me what is better, which is good for me. So that's what Arjuna is asking. But Krishna is saying that both are not different. So even if you think different, in that, tayostu karma sannyasat karma yoga visishyate. Just compared to giving up the activities, it's better to perform our activities. It's better to do our duties. So that's what Krishna is saying, that tayostu karma sannyasat karma yoga visishyate. Karma yoga is better. So that way we all are very clear from this Krishna's words, this Bhagavad Gita, that we have to act. So karma yoga is very, very important for us. Now we have to act. We know that. So let us come to action. So what action we need to do? We need to do all our activities only for Krishna. Especially the very important activity of spreading this message. So telling everyone about Bhagavad Gita. Because there are many, many people in this world who have no idea, who have no knowledge about this Bhagavad Gita. Because as long as we don't know this knowledge, we are ignorant. So as long as we don't know this knowledge, we are fools. So Vimuda means fools. So we don't want to be fools all the time. We want to be intelligent. We want to be having the knowledge. We should have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that way we need to give this knowledge to everyone. So that is our real action. So that is our real duty. So that's what we need to do for Krishna. So for that reason, we have to do all other activities. That's what is very important. That means we are able to use our human life very effectively. This human life is very, very rare opportunity. And we have got this opportunity, and we have got the opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita, to understand Bhagavad Gita. And we are making great progress. Every day we are making excellent progress. We are studying and understanding all the slokas. We are very clearly understanding the questions asked by Arjuna and very well understand about the answers given by Krishna. So everything is becoming very, very clear to us with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. We understand that we are controlled by the three modes of material nature. We are attached to material sense objects. So when we are attached to material sense objects, we come under the control of the three modes of material nature. So we need to we need to get out of all these attachments. We should be detached from material sense objects. We should be attached only to Krishna. So when we are attached only to Krishna, then only we can be freed from the three modes of material nature. So that knowledge is becoming very, very clear to us. So that's why Krishna is teaching us that we need to perform karma yoga. So because the problem is that this is the sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha. That's what we studied. Even though they both are same, ekam Sankyam cha yogam cha yapasyati sapasyati. Those who see both Sankhya and Yoga, both are same, he is really seeing. So, but the problem here, to follow the Sannyasa Yoga, so Sannyasastu Mahabaho Dukkhamaptum Ayogataka. We are going to get distress. So their path leads to problems, distress, difficulties. It's not very easy and straightforward path of going to Krishna, of liberating ourselves from this material world. So their path of just following the sannyasa yoga is not a very easy task. So that's why Krishna is saying, Krishna is teaching us that sannyasastu mahabhago dukkhamaptum ayogata. Whereas yoga yukto munir brahma achirena adhigacchati. Nachirena adhigacchati. So yoga yukto. So yoga yukto means if we perform all our activities with yoga, so that means as an offering unto Krishna, yukta. So yukta means when we are able to regulate all our activities. So yoga yukto. So we should understand the meaning of yoga and the meaning of yukta. So in one place Krishna is saying that yoga uchyate. In another place Krishna is saying that yukta uchyate. Yoga uchyate means it is called as yoga. It is known as yoga. Yukta uchyate means it is known as yukta. So in the second chapter, Krishna is teaching us that siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So being equal in both success and failure, so that equanimity is called yoga. So then Krishna is saying that yatha viniyatham chittam atmanyeva avatisate nisprigaga sarva kamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tatha. So that is known as yukta. That is called as yukta. So one who is able to keep his consciousness, he keep his thinking, thoughts, everything within himself. Yatha viniyatam chittam atmanyeva avatistate. Everything under the control of the self. Our thought process, our thinking and everything. One who is able to keep everything under the control of the self. So that's what yatha viniyatam chittam atmanyeva avatistate nisprigaga sarva kamebhyo. One who is free from all desires. Nisprigaga sarva kamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tata. So that is known as yukta. Yukta means we are able to control our senses. So that's why Krishna is teaching here that Sannyasastu mahabhago dukkhamaptum ayogataka yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. Yoga yukto. Yoga yukto. So here Krishna is combining both the words yoga and yukta. So yoga yukta. So that means one who is able to control all the senses and keep it under the control of the self, and one who is not affected by the results of the activities. So one who is equal in both success and failure. So that's what yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. So Brahma, he can attain Brahman, he can attain the Supreme Lord, he can attain the Supreme place. So that way Krishna is saying that nachirena adhigacchati, very quickly, without any delay. So that's what Krishna is saying that nachirena adhigacchati, very quickly we can go to Krishna. If you do like that, what is going to happen? Again, Krishna is using the word yoga yukto. So yoga yukto in the 7th sloka in the 5th chapter, yoga yukto visuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi nalipyate. So when we are able to perform that yoga yukta, so when we are able to perform everything yoga and yukta, so being equal in success and failure, not disturbed by the results, and at the same time keeping all the senses under the control of the self, all the thoughts under the control of the self. So yoga yukto, what is going to happen? The soul will get purified. Yoga yukta visuddhatma. So yoga yukto visuddhatma vijittatma jitendriyaga. At that time we will be able to control our mind. So that's what vijittatma jitendriyaga. So we will be able to control our senses. So vijittatma means self-control, and jitendriyaga means control our senses. So that's what vijittatma jitendriyaga. So then when that happens, then we can become good persons to everyone. So sarva bhutatma bhutatma. Then we don't have to be selfish at all. Then there is no selfish attitude. We can simply surrender everything unto Krishna, do everything for Krishna. So with the Krishna's costless mercy, we'll go back to Krishna's will. So that's what we are supposed to do. So that's why Krishna is saying that in the sloka 8 and 9, what we studied last week, Krishna said that Naiva kinchit karomiti karmamiti yukto manyeta tattvavidh pasyan srinvan sparsan jigran asnan gachan swapan swasan pralapan visrajan grinnan unmishan nimishan api indriyani indriyartebhya vartanta iti dharayan. So in our body, all our senses are acting. Eyes, that is pasyan, this while seeing, shrinvan while hearing, pasyan, shrinvan, sparsan while touching, jigran while smelling, asnan while eating. So that's what while seeing, while hearing, while smelling, while touching, while smelling, and while eating, all these things, all the five senses, the sense of seeing, the sense of hearing, the sense of touching, the sense of smelling, and the sense of tasting. So that's what pasyan, srinvan, sparsan, jigran, asnan, gachan, swapan, swasan, pralapan, visrajan, grinnan, unmishan, nimishan, api. So then while evacuating, so gachan, asnan, gachan, swapan, swasan, while dreaming and while breathing, so swapan, swasan, pralapan, visrajan, grinnan, unmishan, nimishan, api. So all those things we studied last time. So pralapan, talking, visirjan while giving up. So visirjan, then grinnan means while accepting. So visirjan while giving up, grinnan accepting, pralapan while talking, pralapan visirjan grinnan, unmishan, nimishan api while opening and closing the eyes. So opening and closing the eyes. So in all these things, indriyani indriyartebhya vartanta iti dharayan. One should understand, one should think that only the senses are engaged with the sense objects. There is nothing for me to do with it. I am not doing anything. So that's what we should think. That's what Krishna is teaching us. Naiva kinchit karometi yukto manyeta tattvavid. So I am not doing anything. So that should be our thoughts. When something we are seeing, I'm not seeing it. There is nothing for me to do with it. Only the senses are seeing. So something you are hearing, only the senses are hearing. So that way, the mind. So what is the literal meaning of this? What Krishna is saying that yukto manyeta tattvavit. Manyeta means thinking. So the mind should think like that. So that means the mind should immediately should not go after those sense objects. When the senses are seeing a sense object, the mind should not go there. That's what is the main thing. When the senses are hearing or smelling a sense object, the mind should not go there. Why? What happens to the mind? The mind will be with Krishna. The mind will be remembering Krishna. When we are constantly remembering Krishna, when we are serving Krishna, when we are engaging our mind in always thinking about Krishna, so that way our mind will not go after the sense objects. So that way when we are keeping our mind very, very busy in Krishna's service, so the mind will not go anywhere. So that's what is very important. If you do like that, then Brahmanadaya karmani sangam tektva karoti yaha lipyatena sapapena padmapatram ivambasa. Padmapatram, so the lotus leaf, ambasa, water. So the water on a lotus leaf. So like that, we should perform all our activities, all the results we should offer only to Krishna, only for the sake of pleasing Krishna. We should do everything, not for anyone else. Our goal is only to please Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Brahmanadaya karmani sangam tyaktva karotyaga, give up all attachments. So if we do that, so lipyate nasapapena, so then we are not going to be bound by sins. We will not accumulate any sins. So that's why Krishna is teaching us. This sloka is what we are continuing today. So this sloka number 11 in the 5th chapter, Krishna is continuing. Each and every sloka is full of knowledge. Krishna is giving us so much knowledge. This kind of knowledge you will not get anywhere else. So Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly in the 5th chapter, sloka number 11, what we are going to study today. Kayena manasya buddhya kevalairindriyairapi yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma suddhaye. That's what Krishna is teaching. Kayena manasya buddhya. So kayena manasya buddhya kevalairindriyairapi. So kayena means with body. So kayena. Manasa means with mind. So kayena, manasa, buddhya. Buddhya means with intelligence. So kayena manasa buddhya kevalair indriyairapi. So kevalair indriyairapi, kevalair indriya means the senses. So kayena manasa buddhya kevalair indriyairapi yoginaga karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma suddhaye. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So atma suddhaye. So one should perform only for the purification of our body. So that's what kayena manasa buddhya kevalair indriyairapi yoginaga karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma suddhaye means sangam tyaktva, while giving up the attachments. So sangam tyaktva atma suddhaye. Atma suddhaye means for the purification of our atma, our self. So that's what is atma suddhaye. So sangam tyaktva atma suddhaye. Krishna is very, very clearly teaching us that it's only for purifying our atma. So kayena manasha buddhya kevalair indriyairapi yoginaga karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma suddhe. The yogis abandoning attachment act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses only for the purpose of purification. So that's what we should use. We should use our body, mind, senses, intelligence only to purify the soul. So indriyani mano parani ahu indriyebhya param managa manasastu parabuddhi yo buddhe paratastu saha. In the third chapter, sloka number 41, we studied. So senses are superior to dull matter, mind is above the senses, intelligence is above the mind, and soul is above the intelligence. So now this dull matter, that is the body and the senses and the mind and the intelligence and everything we should use only to purify our self, purify the atma. That's what sangam tyaktva atma suddhe. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So in the next sloka, sloka number 12, yuktaga karma palam tyaktva shantimapnoti naishtikim ayuktaga kamakarena pale sakto nibadhyate. So yuktaga karma palam tyaktva. So yuktaga means while engaging, while acting. So yuktaga means while performing. So that's what yuktaga. So yuktaga karma palam tyaktva. So by giving up the attachment to the results, not by giving up the results, giving up the attachment to the results. That's why we studied in the 4th chapter, Krishna said that tyaktva karma pala sangam nitya trupto nirasrayaga. So tyaktva karma pala sangam. So like that, here Krishna is teaching, saying that karma palam tyaktva. So there tyaktva karma pala sangam. So here yuktaga karma palam tyaktva. So one who is able to give up the karma palam. So tyaktva, who is able to give up the results. So give up the results means it's actually giving up the attachment to the results. That's what we need to understand. So what happens? So while giving up the results means we are actually offering the results to Krishna. So we are not throwing away the results. We are getting the results and we are using those results in serving Krishna. So that's what yuktaga karma palam tyaktva shantimapnoti naishtikam. So we are going to get peace of mind. So that's what. So shantimapnoti. So unflinching faith. So with faith, if we do everything for Krishna, so then we are going to get peace of mind. Whereas ayuktaga means kamakarena. Kamakarena means due to our desires. Pale sakto means when we are attached to the results. So when we are able to give up the results, that means when we are able to give up the attachment to the results, that sakto means attached. So that's what yuktaga karma palam tyaktva means giving up the attachment to the results. So here pale sakto means when a person is attached to the results, ayuktaga kama karena pale sakto nibadhyade. So what is going to happen? It is going to bind us. So nibadhyade means it is going to entangle us. It's going to bind us to this material world. So that's what pale sakto nibadhyade. If you are attached to the results when we are performing, when we are doing an activity, so that is going to bind us to this material world. If we are not attached to the results, if you are attached to Krishna, so that means those results are going to bring us peace of mind. So that's what Shanti Maapnoti Naistikam. So that's what is very important. In the 2nd chapter, we studied in one sloka, Krishna said very, very clearly that Nasti Buddhi Ayuktasya. So here, Ayuktaha Kama Karena pale sakto nibadyade. So there Krishna is saying that nasti buddhi ayuktasya nacha ayuktasya bhavanaka nacha abhavayataga shanti ashantasya kuta sukam. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So nasti buddhi ayuktasya. When a person is not engaged in Krishna's service, so we are losing our intelligence. Nasti buddhi. Nacha ayuktasya bhavanaga. That means when we are not connected with Krishna, there is no steady mind. Nacha abhavayataga shanti. When we are not connected with, when there is no steady mind, there is no peace of mind. So that's why here Krishna is saying that yuktaga karma palam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naistikam. Here we are going to get peace of mind. Ashantasya kutasukam. When there is no peace of mind, where from happiness comes? That's what Krishna is asking. So the real happiness comes when? The real happiness comes when we have peace of mind. And when we are going to get peace of mind, we are able to give up all attachment to the results and we are able to do everything only for the satisfaction of Krishna. Then only we can get peace of mind. Simply there is no other way to get peace of mind. So that Krishna is very, very clearly teaching us. So then Krishna is continuing in the next sloka, in the sloka number 13. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan nakarayan. So that's why Krishna is saying that sarva karmani manasa. So we have to only renounce by mind. We need to give up all the results only by mind. Not physically, we don't have to give up the results. Physically, we will get all the results. And we will use all the results in Krishna's service because we are not attached to the results. But we should be able to give up the attachment to the results. So that's why sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi. So sanyasam karmanam. So when Arjuna asked the first question in the 5th chapter, so when a person renounces the work, so here Krishna is asking us to renounce all the works only by mind, not by activity. Not physically, one should not renounce the activities, but mentally one should renounce the activities. So that means when we are performing an activity, we should not be attached to the results. So that's what sarva karmani manasa. That's why Krishna is saying that mayi sarvani karmani. So mayi sarvani karmani sanyasyadyatma chetasa. You perform all your activities, you offer everything unto me. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasyadyatma chetasa. That's what Krishna is teaching here, that sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste. So sarva karmani api sata kruvano madvyapasrayaga matprasada tavapnoti saswatam padam avyam. So one who is able to perform all the activities for my sake. So that's why Krishna is saying that tasmat asaktaga satatam karyam karma samacharan asakto hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushaga. Therefore you perform all your activities without any attachment. So by doing that way, you will be able to reach the supreme destination. That's why Krishna is teaching here that sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi. So if you are able to give up all our activities by mind, but if you are attached to Krishna, so then we will be able to live very happily within our body, which is the city of 9 gates. So navadvare pure dehi. So the dehi is the soul. The soul can live sukham vasi. Sukham vasi means the soul can live happily. The soul can live happily inside this city of 9 gates. So that's what is this body. So navadvare pure. Navadvare pure means city of 9 gates. So this body, our body has got 2 nostrils and 2 eyes and 1 mouth. So and 2 ears. So that makes 7 dwaras, 7 openings. In our face itself, there are 7 openings. So 2 eye sockets and 2 ears and then 2 nostrils and then 1 mouth and then anus and then genital. So totally it becomes 9. So this is what Navadwara. Our body is exposed to this world only through this Navadwara. So that way Krishna is saying that Navadware Pure. Pure means it's a city. So that's what Puram, Tiruvananthapuram. So we say that Puram, Kanpur, also it's a Puram. So Pur. So Pure. So Navadware Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvan Nakarayan. So that person is not doing anything and he is not causing anyone to do anything also. Naiva Kurvan Nakarayan. So that's what sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi navadware pure dehi naiva kurvan nakharayan. Just finished with this sloka. So it's a very, very important sloka. This sloka number 14 and the fifth chapter also many times I quoted in the past. We understand very, very carefully, very clearly here. Krishna is teaching us that na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srajati prabhu na karma pala samyogam swabhavastu pravartate. So na kartrutvam. So we are not doing anything. Na kartrutvam. So we are not performing any activity. So na kartrutvam, na karmani lokasya srajati prabhu. So we are not causing anyone to do any activities also. Na karmani lokasya srajati. We are not creating any activity. We are not making anyone to do any activities also. Na karma pala samyogam. We are also not creating the results of the activities. So we are not doing any activities. We are not creating any activities. We are not even creating activities for anyone to do. And we are also not creating the results of the activities. That's why Krishna is saying in the 14th chapter we will study. Krishna is teaching that in the 13th chapter. Karya karana kartrutve hetuhu prakriti uchyate. So the cause for all the activities is Prakriti. So Prakriti is creating the activities, Prakriti is performing the activities, and Prakriti is also creating the results. So we are not doing anything. We are not creating the activity. We are not doing an activity. We are not creating the results. That's why Krishna has said that you have a right to perform your duty, but you don't have the right over the results, and never consider yourself to be the results of your activities. That's what Krishna has said there. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadasana ma karma palaheturbur ma karma palaheturbur. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities. That's what here Krishna is saying that na karma pala samyogam. So everything is happening, everything is done by swabhavastu pravartate. Swabhava prabhavai gunehi. So in the 18th chapter 41 sloka, Krishna is saying that swabhava prabhavai gunehi. So this swabhava is produced from gunas. Gunas means the three modes of material nature, because gunas are produced from prakriti. Prakriti jair gunahi. So prakriti jair gunahi means the gunas are produced from prakriti, and swabhava prabhavair gunahi. That means the swabhava is produced from the gunas, from the three modes of material nature. So three modes of material nature is produced from prakriti, and our swabhava is produced from the three modes of material nature. So this swabhava only is doing everything. We are not doing anything. So that's what Krishna is saying, that the embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 4 slokas today, up to 14th sloka in the 5th chapter. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.